believe in? Why you believe what you believe? Tell me what you're thinking. Why do you think the things that you're thinking? Summer gon' spring, it's a bloom's worth believing. Do you believe you can fall into thinking this whole world is grieving? Or are we naive? Tell me, should we fix it or leave it? We've been deceived, no, I could conceive a world just for me. One of love and relief, it's time to appease. Tired of pleasing the world with the need to constantly please. Keep on achieving. My heart's on my sleeve, and I worry about my people's thinking. Tell me what you believe in, and why you believe it. Speak to your spirit. Look to the moon, have colors and flashing. What you believe in, why you believe what you believe. Tell me what you're thinking.
I hope that you guys enjoyed that song. That was from my sister girl, Noelle, and that is from her latest release, Prima. It's called What You Believe. And so I am here in full educator and facilitator mode to channel and support the deliverance of a message from the ancestors. And I hope that you guys enjoy, okay? The ancestors decided to wait until you guys got over your food comas and your drunken fun that you've had for the holiday, Thanksgiving. And so we are going to get ourselves liberated and unstuck from the mind fuck of it all. Okay, excuse my French. Let's clear that, because I could just imagine what the holiday has brought for you all. And I'm going to get into a little bit of what it brought for me. So as I meditated on this, the ancestors had been tugging on me to speak again and make myself present to both realms as they coexist. And I am grateful, give thanks for being present. So, firstly, I would like to start with a few questions that I have. How many of y'all celebrated Thanksgiving with your family or loved ones? You can put a like in the comments. You can say yay or nay. How many of y'all said a prayer of Thanksgiving over your well-cooked feast? Go ahead, drop that like. Go ahead, comment real quick. Tally it up if you have to. I got a couple more questions, so bear with me. How many of y'all would still eat said meal if you heard this while the turkey or tofurkey was coming out? I totally lied to get everyone here tonight. And I plan to slaughter the entire tribe once the food has settled. Eat up. Happy Thanksgiving. If you would still eat that, go ahead. Don't front either. Now, how many of y'all are offended by my deplorable interrogation? And so, for those of you that are ready to run in disgust from my seemingly ungrateful and negative Nancy tone, that's exactly how your ancestors and natives to the land feel. That's why I have been scratched off the invite list to all holidays. So, for me, what is cloaked as a holiday or a holy day, really to keep their economy running, is actually meant to be revered as an eternal day of remembrance. What if we were willing to go beyond the superficial and examine the substantial? So these are many of the types of questions that got me looked at sideways while I was working in public school, and got me in the principal's office many, many times, sitting in the chair like one of the students, like, what did I say now? That went against your curriculum or your bureaucracy or your history. What if the ancestors canceled 2020 on us? All our plans, all our traditions and fake holiday celebrations, to have us really listen inwardly and sift through those belief systems and patterns of behavior and old paradigm perspectives. So I've been talking about this all year. What you believe, why you believe it. So the ancestors and I are here today because we worry about our people's thinking. And what if we did the research with the kids instead of sending them off to find the truth on their own? What if when they came back with factual answers, which challenge our beliefs and behaviors, we actually listened to their findings and their fury? What would it mean to live in truth and integrity? It would mean that instead of falling victim to the subliminal messaging of intricately designed commercials, ads, and intrusive artificial intelligence, that we would use those evil weapons of mass destruction as tools of mass construction. Instead of being the host with the most, you honor the long road to liberation. Instead of eating GMO foods to the point of combustion, you fasted to the point of exhaustion to prove that you won't die if you choose not to celebrate the oppressor's yearly victory lap. And if that's the way you go, your ancestors will guide you home for your dedication alone. Now we're going to turn our attention to the table and what the ancestors would like to say specifically. The first card we have, integrity. So I was just saying that. What would it take to live in truth and integrity? They want us to contemplate on our levels of integrity. With that, we have the number 20. So this card is about community, social interaction, culture, beauty, recreation, and enjoyment. Okay? I do believe in an everyday sort of magic, the inexplicable connectedness we sometimes experience with places, people, works of art, and the like. So this is about our personal integrity being able to manifest everyday magic, okay? The little things that we do to tend to our garden, they help to blossom and bear good fruit, which is a benefit to everything and everyone around us, okay? Clearing up these blocked spaces within our mindset, within our behavior, within our understanding of the truth. And we're laying the groundwork for a beautiful manifestation of the new paradigm, which is integral and truthful and kind and abundantly generous. So the animal spirit that is supporting our integral transformation is this beautiful goddess cat here. And it's about independence, magic, and abundance, Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. So this is us stepping into our supreme being, taking on our divine aspects, divine mother in this feminine representation. We are so grateful for the coverage and protection of this animal spirit. And from the angels and ancestors that we have, Earth Guardian. So this Earth Guardian has been supporting us through a lot of our sessions and readings that I share online. And being grounded in the truth being that pure infinite love and the everlasting now are the key to life. And so as this person holds their heart space and has their third eye illuminated with that emerald green, that heart chakra knowingness, we have angelic support through our own divine nature and through our connection to the earth itself. Okay. So now I'm being called to balance this out, this feminine energy here with the cat that is also representative of the feminine energy of the earth herself, of that garden. Right? So let us see what is on the other side here. The contemplation card we have is acceptance. Okay? This is self-acceptance, right? Being rooted and grounded in this awareness of self, which is connected to all things, like in the garden. And because we are guardians, earth guardians of that, we must accept our role within that ecosystem that the earth provides for us daily. Next, we have the mountains. Oh, wow. Number 21. This is the 8 of clubs here. This is about accepting the stance that we have to take and really standing our ground. So we go from 20 to 21. The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. It's important for us to accept the obstacles that have been placed in our way, the challenges and delays, the resistance, even the resistance that we must create that would limit our defeat, The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it. And because we are a glorious people, we must accept the role that we play in our own liberation. The animal spirit we have is the insect. Okay, this is also a feminine power, being able to ground, connect, and channel the feminine power of the earth herself. See how we've grounded, rooted, and grounded, and now have sprung up strong as a mountain against any resistance to our freedom. This is about this insect card pointing to our renewal and spirituality. One of the qualities of the insect is their ability to metamorphose and fly. And so the ability to transform yourself, okay, yet again, with that spiritual connection and with that feminine power, you can transform and accept the evolutionary process that is necessary to overcome any obstacles, challenges, or delays. So from the Ibiza Tarot, we have the falcon. Right? So transforming from the insect that can fly into the falcon. Big decisions require the leadership skills of a king. Take control and organize those around you. This is beautiful because we have the feminine goddess on this side being supported by masculine represented energy here. Then we have the insect as the feminine supporting this masculine King of Swords energy. So this is about us balancing out our internal spaces, operating from a space of integrity, and accepting the role that we've come to play in righting the wrongs on behalf of our ancestors and on behalf of future generations. Michelle? Step into our spaces of lightheartedness, okay? What we read initially reminded us of all the beautiful things that we are living for, okay? We're not striving towards them. We are thriving in spaces that it wasn't expected for us to thrive. And the next part we have here with humor is the number 19. This is the Six of Swords. So moving to a space of victory. This is us being victorious against the bureaucracy that I mentioned earlier, the authority structures, the hierarchy of institutions. And even if that means it isolates us, that's okay, because once we accept our role and make decisions from that king-like energy with the balanced feminine aspect supporting every move that's made, there is only joy, even in the tower moments. There's a need to keep watch spiritually, mentally, even physically, and to establish some level of a boundary between your joyful spaces and what can be taken away, per se. So if we're watching for the next move so that we can make big decisions, then we're missing out on the joy of life. If we're enjoying life so much that we're not rooted and grounded and clear about what decisions need to be made, then we compromise everything that we love. And so balance is necessary. Voodoo Tarot has non boucle and scent. This is the number 2. So definitely about balance. This is the element of air. So as we see this structure elevated into the air to be able to see, we have the Rada energy supporting us. We shall read this one in a minute. We'll let it sit here and connect with us. The animal spirit that we have is a monkey here. And this represents agility, courage, and spirit. So for many indigenous Black and brown people around the world, we've been referred to and compared to monkeys for centuries now. And it's a part of the quote unquote self-hatred that's been indoctrinated within us. And rather than seeing it as the positive friend within the spirit world and within the animal kingdom, we've not wanted to be compared to them or referred to as them, but they are us. And so we can be a little lighthearted whenever we feel triggered by that reminder to swing from the branch here with agility, courage, and spirit. From the Earth Magic deck, before we read from the Voodoo Tarot, we have, wow, purification and creation. So the element of water is helping to purify and cleanse us. I'm hearing, forgive me, old Negro spirituals and hush harbors, really singing to the rains, being in communion with the element of water, calling in light and cleansing, purification, so that we may create, because water is life. And so on this creation card, we see lots of new beings, connections to our ancestors, the creation of things we've never seen before, and the peaceful communion with the things that are already here. Okay? As we are moving into a space of agility, courage, and spirit, we are allowing ourselves to be purified so that we can once again co-create with the divine. And so we're going to read from the book by Nana Buku. She is an ancient root loa who has many faces and can take many forms. Within the context of these cards, the voodoo practice, her aspects as creator and healer are emphasized. The original African deity is of great importance. She herself, a superlative, warrior, utterly fearless, who raised the mythic city of Tejuabe. Ashe, thank you, ancestors. But her African origins as warrior served her well in Chokma, in that upon crossing the mirror or abyss, the power of Chokma feeds into the warlike vessel of Gabura. Nana Buku is the grandmother. From her came the twins, and to the twins, all that exists can trace its history. The deuces of Chokma are her issue. Crowley spoke of creation in terms of the equation 0 equals 2. 0 is the cipher of origin. This 0 can be seen as the womb of Nanambuklo, from which the 2, or the sacred twins, Marasa, sprang. This grandmother, who existed even before the twins, is a loa of herbs and medicines. Medicine is a very special type of food. With the medicines of Nanambuklo, there is a movement beyond the purely physical act of eating to a type of ingestion that transcends hunger and moves toward concern. Medicines as gifts of the earth are her special province. In Western occultism, the element of air is associated with the mind, and the purest, most beneficial use of the mind is formed in the study of medicines and healing power. So in this card, we saw the two men gathering roots and herbs under a tree, and Nana Luku is present as the forest itself, the garden, Ashayon, which provides medicines and ingredients for powders. One man holds a root that looks like a mandrake. Mandrake is an important element in a number of magical spells from the Western occultism. The mandrake root is said to take the shape of a miniature man or woman, and to find one of these roots is to gain access to great power. The men here freely share their knowledge, openly showing their findings to one another. So this is all about community, like we talked about before, openly sharing what we find, our knowledge with each other, eating healthier, allowing food to be our medicine, honoring the earth, collecting roots and herbs, and using them to our benefit so that we can transcend hunger and move towards our connection and concern to the grandmother herself. So this is mutually beneficial to experience and devote ourselves to the grandmother. And so if your grandmother is still alive, Ashe, give thanks. Sit at her feet and learn something. Allow the experiences of our ancestors, living and past, to support us in making positive decisions to move forward towards integrity, acceptance, and humor. Ashe.